I don't know what planet George Osborne lives on, but he should listen up, because people are sick of the double talk, sick of the double standards. Workers taking yet another cut in real pay, while top directors award themselves a 12% increase, an average pay packet of £4.5 million, 185 times the average worker. Family budgets at breaking point, living standards in free fall, and for the first time we have a generation of young people who will be worse off than their parents. Never before have we faced a crisis like this.
Young people like me need the government's help so we can move on with our lives and not stay in the rut that we're in. We need quality work experience where you actually learn skills that will benefit you in the workplace. We need better apprenticeships that lead to jobs and that pay more than £2.65 an hour. We need schemes like the education maintenance allowance to be brought back. Young people like me don't want something for nothing. We are willing to work hard to put the effort in. Before you cut any more, Mr. Osborne, think about this. Thank you.
Not only are low-paid part-time women making a major contribution to the UK economy, but we're also providing the majority of care for children and elderly relatives, keeping families going, plugging major gaps in social care. So our message tonight is not just government, you've got it wrong, important though that is. We're reaching out beyond this hall tonight to the thousands of workers in the service sector and beyond, to say you are key to the UK's economic revival, and there is an alternative. We demand a budget for growth, investment in jobs and services, and an end to a tax on women and children and the support and services that they rely on. Thank you.
This coalition government has made a decision to try and cut its way out of the financial crisis. They also insist that we're all in this together. But it's become increasingly clear that this is not true. Instead of all in this together, the message to many Black and Asian people has been, you're on your own, mate. Levels of unemployment and underemployment in Black and Asian communities have been too high for too long. But the government's plan A is making this worse rather than better. George Osborne and Danny Alexander have an opportunity to do differently in next week's budget. Even greater racial inequality in our society is not a price worth paying. For a future that works for all in our society, George, it's time for Plan B.
The government says, repeatedly, it doesn't want children in future to pick up the tab for our national debt, but instead it's asking low-income children to pay for it today. We need more help in the budget with things like childcare costs. Personal tax allowances don't benefit the lowest earning workers because it's wiped out by means-tested benefits. That can be fixed. Well, I don't know.
Disabled people are in a trap because we are being told that we're fit to work by the work capability assessment that's been undertaken by Atos, and yet at the same time, our employment opportunities are shrinking. I'm very angry that, along with women and Black and Asian people and many others, we're facing the hardest aspects of this, and we're being blamed for it.
I have been a full-time carer for my son Stephen for over 37 years. I get carer's allowance for looking after my disabled son. Every year, my benefit normally goes up, and it's now at a staggering amount of £58.45 per week. I am sure you will agree that our hard-working carers all around the country do a fantastic job, and they save our country millions of pounds in care costs every year. I believe it's about time this out-of-touch, squeeze-me-dry government realises this, and from now on respects our carers, our disabled and our families on low incomes, and starts showing them a real duty of care. Thank you.
It's time for a fundamental change of direction. So here's what we want: a budget for families. Number one, we need fair wages, Not just a minimum wage, not even a living wage, but a fair wage, a fair share of the wealth we all produce. Secondly, let's have fair benefits, welfare for people who need it, benefits that people can live on, an end to the benefits cap, the shameful bedroom tax, and the demonisation of decent men and women who have lost their jobs or who are forced to survive on low pay. And thirdly, let's have fair taxes, a Robin Hood tax on the banks who caused this mess. On this budget day, I want you, George Osborne, to get up in front of that dispatch box and I want you to own up and admit you got it wrong. Thanks for turning out. Let's work together, let's campaign, let's get organised for a future that works for jobs, growth and our families. Thank you.
My message to George Osborne would be that these cuts are causing untold misery for people all around the country. It's just a veiled attempt, the cuts on austerity, to dismantle our welfare state at its roots, and the people shouldn't allow it.
Come on, George, it's not working, it's time for a U-turn.
And I wish that these budgets should affect your house one day and you realise how much it is impacting on us.
Listen to the people that keep this country going.
Stop the cuts in the welfare bill, stop the cuts in the infrastructure and start investing for jobs and the economy.
You listen to even the local Tories. They don't want their fire stations shut any more than anybody else. These cuts have gone too far and it's time he backed off.